In the history of the world. Wow. You were there. Crooked Road Guitar Summit at the Henderson, and appreciate you all coming and taking part in it. So we've got several things I guess I'll mention. First of all, sponsors that we're so thankful for. The Bank of Marion is a wonderful sponsor. Electric Hardwoods in Hayside, Virginia, that cuts the most beautiful curly and flame maple that you ever saw for the instrument makers in this region. Use some of their wonderful woods for mandolins and fiddles and guitars. And Front Row Music over in Marion. And Front Row is pretty much covers everything. What did I say?
Front Row Music's in Abbey.
What did I say?
Marion.
In Marion, excuse me. Front Row Music in Abbey.
That's where we are.
Yeah, where am I? So they have a line of instruments and sound equipment, and they install sound, and so pretty much a complete music store there. So thanks to those folks. There's a concert tonight, of course, Sound of the Mountains, right around the corner, down the street there at the Lincoln Theater tonight, with Jeff Little Trio and Wayne Henderson, Brandon Lee Adams, and Grady Boys. And we're working on a Crooked Road license plate. If down in the CD store, if you're interested, there's the information about it, the application forms, and on the little table there's a little business card size pocket thing. You're welcome to one of those that gives you the website address to go to if you're interested in finding out about rolling down the road with a banjo on your back bumper.
No gunfire will be involved.
No gunfire. CDs by the Crooked Road CDs, and the artists have CDs in that CD store there on the first floor where you came in and got tickets and so forth. So avail yourselves of that. And I haven't told you guys this yet, but if you don't mind at some point during the day stopping by, we're going to tell anybody that's purchasing the guitar CD that if they want to leave it in the shop with their name on it and have the guitarists come by and autograph the CDs, they can do that. So at some point, if you'll go down there and do that. So this is the very opening thing that we wanted to do. You know, the new CD has just an amazing variety of styles on it, and so it seemed very logical to get a few folks up here just to give a sense of the difference in styles that we find across the region. There's both historic and current. These folks are all current, right?
I'm sure you've already had two. You might have to change the battery.
You got one foot in historic, one in current. Okay. Anyway, let me introduce these folks. Let's make them welcome. Mr. Jim Lloyd from Rural Retreat. Mr. Carl Jones from Relax. And Mr. J.C. Paul from Christiansburg, Virginia. Chit-chat a little bit, but I can't think of a better way to start off than to, if you each just do a little sample of something that you'd like to play, and then we'll talk a little bit more about your styles afterwards.
Go ahead and take it. We just started. You want to start? No, you start. Typical musician. Well, I'll rest. Everything still ain't in tune. Told Steve I thought they was tuned themselves. Well, I'm more of a finger style player. So I use my thumb and my fingers. I didn't even really see a flat pick till I was about 16. All of my family played with their fingers, so that's just when I came up.
that Chinese food.
Yeah. Well, let's see, I might, been playing the guitar a long time, so I have no excuses to not think of something to play. One thing I think is just start out with a little piece that, I like the way some pieces just the chords kind of outline the melody, kind of simple. So I start with one just called the Tar Heel Drag, which I think is just a nice little fun, happy little guitar tune that Cecil Campbell and the Tennessee Ramblers did. He would always have a guitar piece, and maybe he's going for the hit on the other side of the record. He wasn't going for a hit for this one. You'll recognize that right away. But a little tune and death is just kind of some chords with a little bit of picking. But and I would play this maybe with the pick or a thumb. I never could decide. I made the decision to be non-decisive a long time ago. And I've stuck to that pretty good. So I don't know what that says exactly, but the Tar Heel Drag, he called this. So it's drag part. Sorry, drag.
Well, Jack. I was going to get him to try to explain exactly what I do. I don't really know what I do, but anything like what you got. Zach, would you like to try to explain what I do?
It can't be explained.
It creates, very informative. That makes it easier for me to know what I'm doing. See if I can do something.
You got 6 fingers on that,
One thing's pretty clear. Sure.
We don't mind.
Well, we'll see how it goes with that. Uh-oh.
That was good. Hey, thank you. And it was good.
All right.
There's some people out there I wouldn't trust in the dark if I was you.
Is that too dark for video?
That might be too dark for video, yeah, might be.
You're right there.
Probably would be,
You want
yeah.
this one on too? Yeah. Great.
There we go.
There we go.
I think one thing obvious right off is that guitar players are like snowflakes. No two of them are the same. How about, talk about where you, the particular tune you played, where you picked it up, or where you learned it, or...
The Chinese breakdown, totally out of my head. It's an old fiddle tune, and I got to fooling with it. And most fiddle players play that thing in D, which it wasn't, what would you call it? Wasn't compatible with Fender style guitar in D. I couldn't do it, so I switched it to G, which is really weird, so nobody can play it with me.
Is that the idea? That's the
I
goal?
know. That was, you know, I play a lot on the couch at home, and that's just something that came out, just sitting around playing to myself.
Yeah.
Well, that, the Tar Heel Drag, like I say, was Cecil Campbell. He had a band. He was around North Carolina a long time. The Tennessee Ramblers, they were on the 1940s radio shows. Crystal Water, Crazy Water Crystal, I mean. So that was just off one of his Rebel 78 records.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that.
Well, I don't think, it didn't catch on, but I think it's a happy little tune.
It's a great tune.
So it's fun, just fun to kind of navigate the chords. And it has that little, it's in the key of F and has that C sharp 7, the second chord, which kind of like grabs you. So I had to learn it just because of that second chord. Because I said, oh, that's a cool chord. I better try to figure that out. So, yeah.
Jason?
After all that, I'm scared to say, man, C sharp 7.
You just take a C7 and sharpen it. Something like that. Sharpen it.
Fortunately for me, I never do learn anything like that. I'm a dyslexic, and I come from rock and roll music. You probably wouldn't notice any of that in there. And, so I started out years ago with traffic band, and I played country music. And I love this music. Mainly what I do is write songs about the mountains. So I have to accompany myself. And I know nothing about what these guys are doing, and I was absolutely not able to learn anything. I was around this guy for years, and he would talk for me. People thought I taught guitar, but I didn't. I heard him. And he taught guitar for me. And so I couldn't learn from him. But I still enjoy it, and I just had to develop my own style, because there was no way that I could play like Wayne Henderson, Doc Watson, any of those people. It was just impossible. So I would just develop my own style and just pick out tunes that I could play. And last several years, I've spent all my time in this style. I play lots of different songs, but they're all in this style, and I just did it on the free a few minutes ago.
And that particular song?
Just a kid, and this old guy showed up in about a 50-some model pickup truck with a beautiful lady, and some guy, the last name was Clark, and did a little dinky show, and it was Grandpa Jones, and him and little Clark did that song for long, and it stuck in my head all these years. So that's where that came from. Well, he was a young man, he wasn't Grandpa, but he dressed up like that.
Right.
Well, you get a lot of open strings with way down the fret. You get a nice, you use open strings with high frets on the lower strings. That's a nice ringing technique. Gets you a lot of ringing.
It's a real struggle for me to pick tunes like that. I did that just so I could sort of show style. I seldom ever just pick. Most of the time that's all used in a song that maybe I write or somebody's song. I do different people's songs now. But I use all of that to accompany the song itself. Rarely ever do I just pick a tune. Somebody asked me to play Forky Deer, I don't think this guy would say, no, he's a real guitar player. Those songs I can't do.
Well, let's run down the line again and talk a little bit about styles and so forth. And Jim, your contribution to the guitar CD was a great example that you can hear, the influence of Chet Atkins in, I think. So maybe each of you get ready to pick a little something extra and talk about your individual styles, but maybe a little bit more background on getting started, first
I
getting
really-
interested in and learning guitar?
When I started, I really didn't know Chet Atkins. I didn't know anything about any of that stuff. I had a great uncle named Harv Quessenberg, and he was kind of Merle Travis. He did the. I use finger and 2 fingers and a thumb. And Travis used a finger and thumb. But my uncle used a finger and thumb. And I never could get fast enough like that. And I struggled for years trying to figure out how do you do that? How do you? Because you're playing basically rhythm with your thumb and lead with your finger. And so you have to, like an old song called Freight Train that's kind of every finger picker's repertoire, you'll hear, and I could do sections of it. I could go. So after about 15 years of trying, I finally, I went to bed one night, and I woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning and grabbed the guitar, and it just fit. And I was so excited, I called my mom, and she said, "That's great, just go to sleep, we'll talk about it in the morning." But I stayed up the rest of the night playing. I was so excited about doing it. I guess, you know, a lot of people work out stuff in their sleep like that. I guess that's what I did.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and try the Freight Train. It's been a long time since I played that.
When you get excited about figuring out something. That point for me with the finger picking, realizing it was not 2 different things, but one thing together. One person doing what sounded like 2 things, and that was like a Beatles record, actually, the Dear Prudence, the intro to Dear Prudence, which was a long descending. And I was just thinking there was a bass, you know, it's the, you know, and I had the thing, and I don't even know if I can remember now, but I say, you know, I'll try to remember, but it was, my grandmother was in the basement when I was a kid. She always did sewing. She was always in the other room on the sewing machine doing draperies and things. And I would wear her ears out by playing a record over and over, the first phrase, you know, over and over. And she would come in there, somebody said, "Could you maybe try the next part of that song?" But really that intro, and I finally said, it was Eureka. That's one guitar player, you know, that's one guitar doing what sounded like 2 things. It was just a matter, whatever. That kind of was the pattern. Whatever, you know, whatever, you know, that kind of thing. So anyway, so one thing about my picking, I guess I always had a little bit of a hard time remembering the melody, so I got to where I would play the melody as I sang the song to help myself. So I do that a lot still to this day. And one thing, my wife really likes an old song I did called, it's Alameda Riddle song. It's very sad. It's the only song she ever wrote about the cyclone came in and she lost her husband and a couple of kids, still had some kids. But I worked out her melody with the guitar arrangement, so I'll try to load that for you, called Long Lost Love. And I think it's a beautiful song she made up there. But again, I'll kind of play the melody.
And I'll, you know, comment that the guitar work that you do that's centered around how do you accompany singing, I think is exceptional.
Well, I appreciate that. And I'm using the thumb pick. I don't use the thumb pick that often, but for volume, I thought I'd try thumb pick today because it gives you the bass a little better. So if it falls off, I'll just keep playing. So it's a little bit of Long Lost Love. I'll try that for you there. Alameda Riddle was the lady, an Ozark ballad singer. Let's see. Let me just remember. Sweet little love, in your winsome ways, with your tangled lock of curly hair. You look at me with a look so wise, as you sit and play in your corner there. there, beneath the snow tonight, my long lost love of yesteryear. I sit alone by the firelight and watch you play through my scalding tears. Dear to me, none can ever be, and nearer, no, they'll never be none. For in your sparkling eyes I see the face that tells of a long lost love. Dear to me, none can ever be, and nearer, no, they'll never be none. For in your sparkling eyes I see the favor that tells of a long lost love, a long lost love.
Well, we'll be thinking of any questions that you all have. We'll open it up for that in a minute. How about a little bit about your musical journey, Nancy? And I'd love for you to tell a little bit about, when I was growing up, I heard a lot about a group that you played with, and they were just famous in the Christopher area.
Yeah,
Don and Delphine.
made a lot of money. I'm sure all you musicians. As I said, I started out in rock and roll. It's funny when you have nothing. And I had the great fortune of living with my grandfather as a child. My mother, of course, left and went north to work in a rubber factory up there, a Goodyear plant, I believe, or something like that in Ohio. And it was this guy came through town and had to pawn his guitar. His name, he was, at that time, I don't remember what his name was, but it ended up he was Cowboy Coats. And my mother watched that guitar for about a month or so, and she went in and purchased that guitar. And it wasn't the greatest guitar, it was a Kalamazoo. Anyway, she was proud of her guitar, and she brought it home, and I don't know, I got pneumonia or something, just a child, and she gave me that old guitar, and that's where I got started. And she could play a few chords, and of course, the Wildwood Flower, that's filled me to no end. And so it just went on until I got in high school, and this real cool dude who had a day, play day or something. I was sitting in the back of an old pickup truck, and me and two other heathens picking Wildwood Flower. And this real cool dude came up and said, "Would you like to be in my band?" I said, "Is that $20 a show?" I'm your man. Making $20 for 3 or 4 or 5 hours having fun. So that got me started, and so I stayed. I just moved in and out of small rock and roll bands till I hooked up with a guy named Don Brown, who owned a group called Don and the Deltones. And I stayed with them for 8.5 years. Made a lot of money, and when I quit, I had a wore out 57 Chevrolet, a real bridge guitar, and wore out Fender amplifier. I had to marry my wife to give her some money. So I go on, Jack, or do you want me? Then I quit and got completely away from music for about 10 years. And I moved to New York, and lo and behold, I run into a fiddle player up there that had played with everybody in the country. Just happened to go to the barbershop one day, and he said, "Come on down, we're going to play pick here Wednesday night." So I got involved up there in discipline and bluegrass music, and sort of found a home, so to speak, for me where I stayed. I did join a country group and played for them for quite a while in New York, and then I moved back here and went into the music business and sound business. And, I just followed this music and got to meet great people. I did sound for just about all the old guys that's out there now. Someone named Ricky Skaggs and Noah Lawson and Jim and Jesse, Doc Watson, all these people I got to do sound for. And it was a great, great experience. And even Jack got in on part of that. But, so that's what brought me to this music. And I love Doc Watson. I loved his songs. But I found it was impossible for me to play like that. I couldn't do it. It just wasn't fair. But I could take his song and play it. Wander through this.
What kind of guitar is it?
It's a cheap thing called Henderson. Thank you. I think about mid-90s, I think. It's been a war horse. This thing's been to England twice and Hawaii and been all around with it. It's a little bit battered, more so than you see them, but it's been through it.
It's very better than you.
Hey, man. Tough crowd. Yeah, Doug?
Homemade guitar, man.
In the mid-90s, how long did you have to wait for a Henderson guitar?
It took 2 years,
Okay.
but I cut Wayne's hair.
So you had a sharp razor. at the
Yes,
start.
I do. I ask him about it every time I cut his hair. And really, it's kind of funny. He might not like me telling this, but I'm going to. There's 2 cracks right here, and there's 2 cracks on the back. Wayne called me one night, and he said, Jim, I dropped your guitar. I said, you dropped it? He said, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll get started on that one. I said, no, you won't. I want that one. So he fixed it. So the first 2 or 4 cracks that got in this thing, Wayne did it.
Extra touch.
What number is it?
You know what? 175. Yeah.
Quite crowd.
They referred to it when they built it. Wayne at that time hadn't done a lot of this type of thing. This was referred to as the cat house model.
Yes, sir.
I know you guys do a lot of finger picking, and did you start out finger picking, or did you do the mostly rhythm and strumming, and then really study the finger picking part up to get that finger picking down? Because I've been playing for 1,000 years, and I still don't got finger picking
I
down.
did. I started off playing rhythm. Like I said, I really didn't see a flat pick until I was like 16. Everybody I knew played with their fingers, and it was quite a task trying to learn because none of my family could teach. And I mean, like Uncle Harv I was talking about a while ago, Harv said, it's all on your thumb, it's all on your thumb. Well, that didn't make sense to me, but it is. It is all on your thumb.
A lot of the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of started out finger picking because I learned from a fella. When I was 10 years old, I started taking lessons from a guy who was Gordon Lightfoot, Peter, Paul, and Mary. He was in the folk world, and he did, finger picking exclusively. So I did that for a long time, but then I started going to fiddlers conventions, and that's the first time I tried to use a flat pick, and it was like, oh, this isn't as easy as they make it look. It was like a rude awakening when I tried to flat pick for the first time. But I've done a lot of both since then, but I love them both, And of course, some people use a flat pick and hold it and finger pick with that, and it's all kind of, whatever works. There's a lot of ways to go about it, for sure. You'd always flat pick? Did you always flat pick?
Used to, from the finger style, Jack and I used to teach auto lessons. We did teach them that way. That's the only time that I used to. I did play some banjo for a while. That didn't really much like the fiddle playing. I was a very accomplished fiddle player in the bathroom. Until my wife finally said, this has got to stop. So I gave up the fiddle player and went back to the flat pick and gave all the rest of it.
We've got about 6 minutes, so could each of you give us 60 seconds of guitar picking?
Oh, yeah.
And again, got the schedule, I hope, and just feel free to float and wander from room to room, whatever strikes your fancy. Again, if you want a little Crooked Road license plate card over there,
He's got me a minute.
get that. Got, again, CDs down to the CD store, and if you want them autographed, just tell them so. They'll hold it back there for you, and then you guys get down there at some point.
One of the first songs I could finger pick was I Am a Pilgrim, which was an old Merle Travis piece, and Doc Watson did it, and Chet, and all the finger pickers. But I still, it's funny because I was young, and I still really like this song. I still play it quite often.
circle back, you know, I've done a lot of, most of my guitar career has been backing up fiddle players. I've done that forever, which is a great thing and a real, and so a lot of times I'll play the melody with the fiddle player. This is a tune that came to mind just yesterday, just called the Old Southern Waltz, and Melly Dunham was one fiddler, but I also found out that Scotty Fitzgerald, Kate Breton fiddler, played it called the Grace Waltz and put a lot more into it. But I'll just say, if I was backing up a fiddler, I'd kind of outline the melody. I'll just play, and so G is the first part and D in the second part. So it's like. Just magic fiddle. Good. Circle back around there. So if they're gonna play with that, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, cut in my time. You used up part of my time to do advertising. One of the things that I like to do is some of their hymns. And coming from where I came from, we didn't learn many Baptists. We learned holiness songs. So I incorporate that into what I do. Stuff down the road, and if y'all would like, y'all can just join in and sing and get us out here. The circle be unbroken, by Lord, by and by. There's the bitter away in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
What kind of guitar do you play?
This is an off-brand thing, it's called a Henderson.
One of those.
One of those.
All right, well, serenade us a little bit.
Can we shut the door?
Well, they kind of like to leave open for people that come and go.
Okay.
We'll close it halfway, how about that?
Wait till she gets in.
I'm late.
Did you bring a note?
No.
I guess we'll just start off with a song. I find it really hard to play with noise to the side. I guess I'm getting older. It distracts me more interested in what's going on up there than what I'm doing. Let's see here. Just a ship out on the ocean, just a speck out in the sky. Amelia Earhart flying that Saturday with a partner captain, and on the 4th day of July they fell into the ocean far away. There's a beautiful, beautiful field far away in that land that is fair. Happy landings to you, Amelia Earhart. Farewell, First Lady of the Air. An SOS was heard, her signal weak, but still her voice was brave. In shark-infested waters, her plane went down that night, and the blue Pacific to a watery grave. There's a beautiful, beautiful field far away in that land that is fair. Happy landings to you, Amelia Earhart. Farewell, First Lady of the Air. And now you've heard my story of this awful tragedy. We pray that she might fly home safe again, not likely. And though there are others who blaze a trail across the sky, we'll not forget Amelia and her plane. There's a beautiful, beautiful field far away in that land that is fair. Happy landings to you, Amelia Earhart. Farewell, First Lady of the Air. Happy landings to you, Amelia Earhart. Farewell, First Lady of the Air.
You want to sit in?
I think they're gonna lock the door if you want to sit down.
I'm sorry to disturb.
I was disturbed before you ever came to me. I've been disturbed pretty much all my life. I guess it's what you call an intimate setting with all people do. It's kind of scary. I think you're too close. I'm worried you're gonna come at me. I guess should talk a little bit about the word, like a workshop there a while ago. People at this type of thing want to know your influences and all that. And I really, other than family starting off, I really didn't have any influences. I didn't. There was live music all the time at my house, so. You know, I didn't have to go watch it on television. I didn't have to turn the radio in because somebody was always playing. Now, that was my grandparents' generation. They were, both sides of the family played guitar and banjo and fiddle and all that sort of thing, but my dad didn't catch a bit of the play. He never played an instrument at all, but he was a real rocker. So he always had the radio. Even when there wasn't live music, Dad had the radio. So a lot of my influences came from rock, which a lot of people in this field won't admit to that, but I think it kind of well-rounded you. My dad's getting older now. I've been telling this at all the shows this year, but a lot of stuff's coming out that he never told me when I was a kid. And recently found out a couple of years ago, I knew he went in the Army in 1958. But the reason he went in the Army is because he was arrested at a Jerry Lee Lewis concert for dancing. And they said, you either go in the Army or go in the military. So he picked the military. So I've been trying to keep that heritage alive with my dad. He'd probably get mad if I did. Y'all heard this, don't tell him. But one of the songs, when I was a kid, he had an album that he played a lot, and I really got attached to this album. And I think it'd be a good time to do the song. This has an audience participation part. Everybody know it when I start. But Dad played this album a lot, so like I say, that was one by a band called Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs. And there's one particular song. Y'all will know your part, I'm sure. Who's it I see walking in the woods? Well, that's Little Red Riding Hood. Hey there, Little Red Riding Hood, you sure are looking good. You're everything that a big bad wolf could want. Here it comes. Oh, Little Red Riding Hood, I don't think little big girl should go walking in the spooky old woods alone. What big eyes you have, kind of eyes that drive a horse mad. I think just to play it safe, I think you ought to walk with me for a ways. What full lips you have, sure to lure someone bad. So till we get to Grandma's place, I think you ought to walk with me and be safe. Gonna keep my sheep suit on, till I'm sure that you've been shown I can be trusted walking with you alone. Oh, Little Red Riding Hood, I'd like to hold you if I could, but you might think that I'm a big bad wolf, so I won't. Oh, what a big heart I have, the better to love you with. Little Red Riding Hood, even bad wolves can be good. I'll try to keep satisfied, just to walk close by your side. Maybe you'll see things my way before we get to Grandma's place. Little Red Riding Hood, you sure are looking good. You're everything that a big bad wolf could want. Big bad. 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 Bad.
I noticed you have a thumb pick on, but you're kind of using it like a flat pick, sort of.
When I'm playing rhythm, a lot of times I will do that. I mainly am a finger picker. Let's see. Since we're back in the 60s, we'll go on back there to the 1600s. This old song has been around for a long time. It was originally came out of a song called The Unfortunate Rake. And it came down through the generations and split in two. And the male version is St. James Infirmary. The female version is Streets of Laredo. It all went back to the same area. I like to pick this old song. This is pretty fun. And all Appalachian music's got to have a killing in it. So this is not a killing, but it's a dying thing. This is the standard "My Baby's Dead" song. I went down to old Joe's barroom on the corner by the square. They were serving up the drinks as usual, and the usual crowd was great. I was standing next to Big Joe looking at him, and his eyes were bloodshot red. He turned to the crowd around him, and these are the words that he said. I went down to St. James Infirmary to see my baby laying there. She was laid out on the long table, may be. She could search the whole world over, never find another fellow like me. Now when I die, I want you to put me in my casket and my $10 Stetson hat. Put a $20 gold piece on my watch chain, so my friends will know I died standing pat. Get 6 gamblers to carry my coffin, get 6 chorus girls to sing me a song, and put bunches of flowers around my body, so they won't smell me as they carry me along. And now you've heard my story. Let's have another round of booze. And if anyone should ask you, you can tell them I got them St. James Infirmary blues. I got them St. James Infirmary blues. Okay, let's see. Let's do a happy one then. End up on that. After being all this sad stuff, we'll do, we're going to do a song now that is about the one industry that China has not taken from us. Does anybody know what it is? No one knows, okay. We can say this, let's see, lovely southwestern Virginia where the sun shines in the attic and the moon shines in the basement. Okay. How many people have experimented with making wine or beer and come on, confession's good for the soul? Y'all know you have mine. My attorney said earlier. This can be a very dangerous thing. This stuff can explode. That's what this song's about. Thank you all very much for coming. I do have those CDs down there, and I got word day before yesterday my album is number 51 on the folk charts this week. Now, I was just a boy at the time when this drinking Uncle Hiram of mine decided he'd make up a batch of homemade beer. Don't tell a soul, he said to me, but I've come across this recipe that says for pennies a day I can drink all year. So I searched the alleys behind the bars for empty jugs and mason jars and sneaked them down to his basement brewery. He measured out yeast and sugar and hops and said to me as we sealed the tops, for goodness sakes, don't you tell your Aunt Marie. Because she'd say, hey there, Hiram, what's going on down there? There's some peculiar odor coming up the basement stairs. Go back to your sewing, hon, I'm varnishing a chair. Uncle Hiram made his famous homemade beer. We let her sit about a month or so, then me and Uncle sneaked down below, figuring it was time to give it a try. I was standing there at the foot of the stairs, and Uncle Hiram was a checking the wares, when all of a sudden 2 bottles just blew sky high. Well, the jars went crashing, lids went thumping, Uncle Hiram dived behind the trunk, and his beer began to spew out on the floor. He yelled out, don't mind me, save yourselves. As fast as I could, I ran up the steps, and out of breath, I quickly slammed the door. Aunt Marie came crying, what is it, dear? I said, it's Uncle's homemade beer. It's blowing up, I got Uncle trapped down there. She said, beer, beer. Well, I declare, Hiram, you come up out of there. But the sound of exploding beer was all we could hear. Hey there, Hiram, what's going on down there? There's some peculiar odor coming up the basement stairs. Go back to your sewing, hon, I'm varnishing a chair. Time my Uncle Hiram made his famous homemade beer. It sounded like a war for a day and a night. Bottles just blew up left and right, till finally we just heard one here and there. Aunt Marie took a comforter and held it up in front of her, and together we descended the basement stairs. The place was a mess, to say the least. The walls were sticky and smelled like yeast. Beer in the jars and lids lay all around. There had been quite a battle, there was no doubt, and when we began to look about, Uncle Hiram was nowhere to be found. Aunt Marie cried out, "Hiram, poor dear, you've been killed by a jar of beer. I'll warn you, drink, but you never listen to me." Then up came the lid on the antique trunk. There, soaked in beer, blonde, rugged drunk, was a late living in love with Aunt Marie. He said, "I couldn't see it all go to waste. The son might as well have a little taste. I've tasted 156 jars of beer." Y'all can go on because I'm going to stay right here. Hey there, Hiram, what's going on down there? There's some peculiar odor coming up the basement stairs. Go back to your sewing, hon, I'll varnish your chair. Time my Uncle Hiram made his famous homemade beer.
Our next performer is Gerald Henderson, mandolin maker, guitar maker. You learned your craft starting out with this fellow here, Henderson. I understand you've made 110 guitars?
140.
140.
168 now.
Good busy. And you played over 25 recordings and had 200 ribbons?
Yeah, well, something like that.
Something like that. Various contests.
Yes, sir.
Very good. What would you like to do for us today?
Well, I guess why not just do what we usually do? We played a thing last night at Independence for the jam program, and they were making fun because other people are all were kids and stuff. We got up there and they said it was the Virginia Luthiers Dementia Tour. So that was us, I guess. We just picked a few tunes for you. If anybody has anything for a request that we've done before, we'll try to do it maybe. We'll do what's it? Everything more miles. I've traveled over the countryside, seeking fortune fair. Up and down the two coastline, I've traveled everywhere. Portland east, Portland west, and back across the line. I'm heading down to the place that's best, that old hometown of mine. 8 more miles in Louisville, we're coming to my view. 8 more miles on this old road, I'll never more be through. But I knew someday that I'd come back, I knew it from the start. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart. Down in Louisville, she's long and she's tall. She's the kind you can't find around across this land. I'm heading down this very day to win her heart in hand. 8 more miles in Louisville, we're coming to my view. 8 more miles on this old road, and I'll never more be through. Well, I knew someday that I'd come back, I knew it from the start. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart. In my mind, a place we call our home. A humble little hut for two, we never more will roam. Place that's right, that love sign is in those bluegrass hills. Nearby flows the Ohio in a town called Louisville. 8 more miles in Louisville, we're coming to my view. 8 more miles on this old road, and I'll never more be through. Well, I knew someday that I'd come back, I knew it from the start. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart. from the start. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart. When I was trying to learn to play, it was when I first got out of school, started working in Wayne's shop, and I pretty much didn't know anything about much of anything actually. I didn't even know what a bandsaw was much, but Wayne was really kind to help me, and he also every week we tried to learn a new guitar tune. So that was really, those early years, that really meant a lot to get to learn tunes from Wayne. So I think this is one we did. This I'm sure you taught me. It's Beaumont Rag. Can you do that one? So, anybody heard of E.C. Bob? Y'all heard of him? Okay. He would, first couple of years that I worked with Wayne, he was still alive. He would come in the shop every afternoon. He had a market that Wayne looked at a bunch and really sort of copied it. It was the old late 40s Martin, and that kind of helped Wayne get started. And E.C. was in there just about every day. And he was wrote a lot of gospel songs that we like to do this tune in the Luther band that we played. And so give this a try. It's called When I Get Home, I'm Going to Be Satisfied. Repeat that. Yeah, just do your Well, when my Savior calls me over yonder, I have a mansion on the other side. Gonna tell my neighbors how glad I am to see them. When I get home, I'm gonna be satisfied. I had a beating heart just like David. When I get over on the other side, I'll sing and play in the band with million angels. When I get home, I'm gonna be satisfied. Talk with Abraham and Isaac, have a talk with Peter, James, and John. Gonna sit a while with Dad and Mama. I'll have a talk with Jesus first of all. I'll have to meet with Mark just like David. When I get over on the other side, I'll sing and play in a band with a million angels. I get home, I'm gonna be satisfied. I get home, I'm gonna be satisfied. I got time for one more, then I think you can take over, Wayne.
My turn next.
Well, yeah, I think so. This nice gentleman will probably introduce you though.
Okay.
Anyway, if y'all know about the school here, I guess most of you probably do, but Wayne, they named the school after him, so we've been teaching classes downstairs in the basements. There's a lot of guitar makers set up down there, so y'all go down and check that out. And we've talked, this coming January, we're teaching our 3rd class here. So it's going to be once or twice a year, and it's a pretty cool thing to get into. So if you have any interest in guitar making, you can sign up with Catherine down there. She'll put you on the list. I'm not sure how long the list is, but if you have an inclination to do that, that'd be a good thing to do. How about, we're going to do one more tune here. This is a tune that we learned from Doc Watts, and it's called Greenville Trestle High. As a boy, how we wonderment and joy, I'd watch the trains as they go by, and the whistle's lonesome sound you can hear for miles around as they roll across that Greenville Trestle high. But the whistles don't sound like they used to. Lately, not many trains go by. Hard times across the land, ain't no work for railroad man, and the Greenville Trestle now don't seem so high. When the lonesome whistles whine, I get rambling on my mind, but I wish they still sounded that way. As I turn to head for home, the Lord, she rolls on along toward the sunset at the close of day. But the whistles don't sound like they used to. Lately, not many trains go by. Hard times across the land, ain't no work for railroad man, and the Greenville Trestle now don't seem so high. But the whistles don't sound like they used to. Lately, not many trains go by. Hard times across the land, mean no work for railroad man, and the Greenville Trestle now don't seem so high. No, the Greenville Trestle now don't seem so high.
For the last 20 minutes, we've been listening to Gerald Anderson and Wayne Henderson. Now we're going to listen to Wayne Henderson and Gerald Anderson.
What kind of monopolizing your time, Mark?
Is that the front seat there?
Oh, you gotta come over here?
Well, I don't know.
No, we'll go ahead.
Make it look more official. Dang, son.
I saw you at the Fair and Folk Festival last weekend, and you said you're working on guitar number 725.
Yeah, and I just finished this one. You know, there are bunches, I have in my shop where I have sometimes as many as 10 or 12. guitars going. And I just finished this one last night.
Really?
It's number 707. The number 725 is almost done too. And this one it's a little bit unusual. It's made out of locust, which is a local wood. You can probably look out the window and see them standing over on the hill. And all we ever used it for was fence posts and firewood. It makes great firewood. And that fella wanted, it's an old fella, 90-some years old, but he still works and still goes to his sawmill.
Wow.
At least one day a week and sometimes two. And his son had this guitar built for him out of some wood that he sawed. And I inlaid him a sawmill blade. So that's sort of personalized for him. And I don't know how much he plays or anything, but I think he'll be proud to have a guitar made out of a board that he sawed in his own sawmill. When I got it, it was a board that thick and plenty wide enough to make a guitar. And it sounds nice. When I bent it and worked on it, it's real close, the same as exotic Brazilian rosewood, about the same weight, the same hardness and everything. It sounds nice.
What first sparked your interest in wanting to make instruments?
Well, I guess I got into wanting to make guitars when I was a youngster, because I have one in my collection. It's got a cardboard box on it I made when I was 8 years old. And I whittled out a 2x4 for a neck and put fish line on it. So I guess I must have always had that on my mind for almost 70 years. And then the girl was talking about Mr. Ball's old Martin. He was a neighbor and somebody I looked up to and, listened to and played with some. And he had a beautiful old Martin, a 1949 D28 that I'd go look at, and he would put an nail keg out in the middle of the floor up at his old country store. He had there, and he'd let me get on that where I couldn't get close to anything to make a scratch on it or anything. I just was amazed at that guitar and wanted one of those things so bad I could not stand it.
He was an amazing guitar player.
And I got to looking that thing one day, looking at it, that thing ain't made out of nothing but wood, pretty much, and I should be able to make one. And he let me draw a pattern around it, and so I started trying. Some pretty feeble attempts, to start with, but I got a guitar made that would work. And so I decided, well, maybe I can do this, and I got some help from Albert Hash, who was another hero that lived in the neighborhood, some of y'all might have remembered him. He'd been gone all that long, since the early 80s. And he was a fiddle maker and a player. And he didn't know much about guitar making, but he told me when I first started how to bend a piece of wood over a hot pipe and water and to do stuff like that. And he was a big help to me too. He told me what kind of glue to use so it didn't fall apart. And I got started from that, and I've made like 725 guitars, and 138 mandolins, I think, and 25 ukuleles, and 4 fiddles, only 4 fiddles. I make one Helen plays with me all the time, is one of my fiddles. I always say she's my best customer. She's got half of all the fiddles I've ever made. Let's see, made about 3 dulcimers and 2 dobros, but they were numbered in the guitar thing, so I guess they are a guitar. So. Well, let's see. I guess I'll play some. I always play this everywhere I ever go play. I do a medley of Carter family tunes. Some of the very first tunes I ever learned to play. I had a lady that lived across the road from me. It actually was E.C.'s cousin-in-law. Lived right straight across the road, and she would teach me these Carter tunes when I was just a youngster. So it was the very first things I ever learned to play. Well, that was a medley of Carter family tunes, and didn't bring any CDs over, I don't think.
The luthier CDs are downstairs.
Luthier CD, well, I don't know, you might not be happy if I give away one thing.
That'd be
I
fine.
sometimes tell people if you can name all 6 of those Carter tunes there, we'll give you a free CD. Sometimes you have Carter family fans that know all of them. If I play them good enough to recognize them, you know, sometimes. I learned most of those Carter tunes from my neighbor who lived across the road, but that exception, that one, You Are My Flower, when I used to, when we got a TV in the 50s sometime, and sometime after that, Flat and Scruggs came on, and one reason I claimed it plumb down there, Earl Scruggs, you know, the most famous banjo player in the world, I guess, was also one of my favorite guitar players. And he'd hold that guitar up beside his ear like that where you hear it good, and he'd play that You Are My Flower especially, and I'd get up close to the tube and try to count how many frets he put that capo on. And learned that tune sort of by watching him do that. My dad was an old-time fiddle player, and Mr. Ball told me I had to play with a thumb pick, and he, you know, he was pretty, you know, set on that, you know, and everything. He said, boy, if you're going, I mean, I had to have a pick so it could make more noise, and I had never heard Doc, even though he lived close by and everything, after a flat picker of any kind much. And Mr. Ball told me, he said, all good guitar players use the thumb pick. And I thought, well, maybe he's right, because I'd never heard nobody but him and Maybelle and Chet Atkins and Merle Travis, and every last one of them used the thumb pick. So I thought, well, maybe he's right, you know, that's the way to learn to do it. But my dad was an old-time fiddler, and that was music I was exposed to a lot, or maybe mostly. And so he played all those old fiddle tunes, you know, and I would try to imitate them and play them and try to learn some tunes. But to play those fiddle tunes, you really need a flat pick action, you know, like up and down. So I devised a way to use my finger pick and thumb pick, pick down and up, so it works like a flat pick. And sort of an awkward way to play, but Gerald learned to play like that too. Yep. And old Crooked Road manager, old Jack Henderson, was one of the few other people that I know that plays like that. I don't think he learned that from me or anything, but he plays like that. And a wonderful player. If you ever heard him play, he's the director of the Crooked Road and the main head honcho over this deal here today, I think. And anyway, it's an unusual way to play it, but I'll try to play it. Play it, fiddle, you know, do Turkey in the Straw, sure. Play something with me. more questions about guitar making?
Thought you wanted no suggestion for another tune.
What's that?
Thought you was asking for a suggestion for another.
Well, if it's something we know, you know.
Colonel Sanders in your stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's chicken rib. Yes. That's been a long time since I played that, but I might try it. Joe Wilson came up with that name for that tune. This chicken rib, he thought that was too plain to put on a record or something. He called it Colonel Sanders Entertainment or something. Now, I played this in a long time, but we'll see. I won't mess it up no worse probably than I do everything else. So we'll try it. Being raised on a farm, I knew what a chicken sounded like. Chicken part in there. Well, let's see. I guess that's short. What you gonna do?
Why don't you just go guitar?
Well,
Is that a little bit harder?
We'll do a little bit of steel guitar rag. That's one of my favorite tunes. I play it about everywhere I go. I learned this by listening to the radio. We did that a lot when I was a kid. And this is a Cincinnati radio station, WCKY. I don't know if anybody here ever remembers that or not. But they played the steel guitar rag for a theme song.
DJ Wayne Rainey or
What's that?
Wayne Rainey or
Yeah, absolutely. Lonnie Blossom, Wayne Rainey. They sold all kinds of things. They sold little chickens. Harmonicas. That one of those guys, might be Lonnie Blossom, was a real good harmonica player, and they would always play. And they used that steel guitar rag. I think the record came from Spade Cooley's Western Swing Band, and the steel guitar player, his name is Noel Boggs on that. He was wonderful on that thing. And they was a lick went down on the end of it, they ended up, and it made this psh. No, it's on the end. I'd listen to the radio and I couldn't figure. I thought they was letting the air out of some steam-powered guitar. But what it was a drum sample. It rang longer than anything else. And I'd never seen or heard tell of anything like that. But I really wondered what made that sizzling noise. And anyway, we played a little bit of a couple of rounds of the steel guitar rag. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.